Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with once again another update here to the arena. But as well, more importantly, guys, we've gone through two videos now where we can actually use Fantastic Four to beat a team with Odin without having Odin. We now have an option to use Fantastic Four to beat Professor Xavier without actually having Xavier on your team. And now, guys, I want to talk to you about the most common defense that we're seeing and how we're going to shred through it given a theory crafted team. So you can see here across the board the most common defense, and this is also funny enough, this is also what I'm using on defense as well, which is the most common combination of the Fantastic Four members plus No as well as Odin. I don't know if this one works on Xavier, to be honest. I don't think so. I think at that point you probably will need some sort of mirror match, but this is the defense that you see right here, rank number 8. And it's also currently what I'm doing right now, which is exactly the same, right? We have No, Odin, plus the Fantastic Four. But there is a theory craft team that you can actually use to get through it. And to be honest, I think it's due to the fact that there is some theory crafting opportunities where Old Man Logan can help prevent the charges generated by Odin. On top of that, the speed meter that we're getting on top with the synergies of the X-Men is allowing us to get ahead of the Fantastic Four. So I can definitely see this now being another component of strategy once you're working your way through. So the good news is that the arena meta has been quite fun with all these different teams that we can actually experiment. And the good news is that with this strategy, you don't actually need the Fantastic Four on your team. So the 5 key members that you'll be seeing in the gameplay footage is going to be Emma Frost X-Men. She's brought in really for a lot of the aspects of her crowd controlling, but as well her passive here, right? She's able to apply defense up to herself and all allies. And what's really notable, although we're not using her in obviously the Battle World War, she's actually able to prevent non-mythic enemies from having their speed increase except by positive effects and rage. So that's gonna be very, very important to note here as we go through. Odin, he's just doing Odin things, right? He's gonna be providing support for the team, special and a devastating ultimate ability. The good news is that because we're bringing Odin into the mix here, the enemy is not gonna have the opportunity to generate charges, whereas our Odin, well, and that means he can actually use his devastating ultimate sooner rather than later. We have Apocalypse providing support for the team. He's got an ability block. Although we're up against an enemy null, he won't be able to use his empowered state as he typically would with his ultimate. But what's notable about Apocalypse is the fact that the speed of this character and each ally can only be reduced by slow. So again, some of the passive little dynamics that are coming into play here. And as well, I like the fact that he actually makes the team better as well. You can see here all allies gaining additional HP, additional damage, and as well, even in arena and war, all allies gaining 100% accuracy. So every little bit helps. He makes the team better overall. Even though he's a statistically crap character, I still think he makes other teams and synergies possible. Now, what is probably going to be the most important character for this team combination is Old Man Logan, because as we kind of saw with the previous dynamics of other Odin battles before Xavier, the chargeable enemy with the highest damage cannot gain charge before this character takes a turn. So this is going to prevent Odin from gaining his charges from the speed dynamic here. But as well, on top of that, we also have the opportunity here to use assisted attack since we're no longer up against enemy gores. And as you can see on attack, he fills up speed bar. He has a stun and ability block, which is really useful for this dynamic. And if you guys have upgraded him fully all the way to the max here outside of gear tier 20, he's gonna be very valuable. And then last but not least, guys, we are bringing in Nightcrawler here. He is going to be providing some supportive capabilities. Likely, Azazel is probably going to be part of this mix if we still decide to go ahead and use this kind of theory crafting opportunity to beat this team. But what I really like about Nightcrawler is, first of all, his speed. He can get actually ahead of the other opposing Fantastic Four team. But he started things off as well, being able to actually give speed up for the rest of the team as well. So you can see here with the speed dynamic, he actually allows the rest of his team to be able to benefit off of his supportive capabilities. And as well, he usually has the first turn, which is pretty massive, guys. So again, on spawn, he's going to gain speed up in 2 charges. I think the enemy Franklin Richard does prevent that, but for whatever reason, this dynamic still actually seems to work where he gets the first turn, as you'll see from the abilities here and the playthrough here. So guys, that's my 5-piece team right there that you can actually combat an enemy Fantastic Four team with Odin and No. Now let me show you the gameplay of how beautiful this team synergy works. Here we go. This is the current placement that I have. I just like the way that this is spaced out and Nightcrawler being in between Odin as well as Apocalypse, just because he probably will get attacked, and if he does have those dodges. So Odin enemy starts off, but again, because he has a turn 1, he doesn't actually have charges thanks to Old Man Logan's passive ability. Now we start things off with our Nightcrawler special ability. As you can see, that adds the speed up for the rest of the team here, which is pretty notable, guys. We got some dodges along the way. And then what's really pivotal is having the big Old Man Logan special here to actually stun and flip all the buffs, right? Pretty massive, guys. They're already in a really good spot here. Now we are able to trigger our special, but the only difference is we actually have the charges. So this is gonna be pretty notable when we are able to land our ultimate ability before the enemy. So this is notable as well. You can go ahead, use Emma Frost's special ability there to take down Null. That gets away some of the assisted attacks with his darkness. A Nightcrawler is likely going to fall, and that's okay, but that's why we placed him there, because now he has a gap in between, so adjacent attacks will not be chaining. Now, pretty notable here. We can go ahead. We could have just done the special, but I like using the ultimate just because it can flip some of the buffs on their enemy side. At this point, Invisible Woman on the opposing team probably will get a turn now, but we have the passive attacks thanks to our Odin actually triggering his abilities before Franklin Richards landed his ability. So it's very notable here, guys. So we can see we just have the stronger advantage because of the turn meter, and this is a great way to use this value team to beat the current meta right now. But again, the caveat is that you do need Odin on this team to make it work. Now, guys, having said that, I also want to stress the fact that obviously the Fantastic Four team right now is actually at lower star levels, right? So obviously I can see this changing as they get higher and more built up, but so far this is a good way to climb the rankings, to push higher. In the meantime, if you do not have Fantastic Four built up, you may see some of these lower these teams on the lower levels depending on which arena bracket you're in. So just trying to give you guys options. Again, I'm gonna link down below in the description my videos for both the Odin matchup without Odin, as well as Professor Xavier if you don't have Professor Xavier, with Fantastic Four, because they've been creating a lot of really unique opportunities for us to really mismatch and climb our way up in the arena, and obviously accumulate more power cores. So do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.